Have you ever found yourself thinking, am I practicing self-care or am I just spoiling myself rotten? It's a common conundrum, isn't it? The lines between self-care and self-coddling can often blur, much like trying to differentiate between a zebra and a horse that's gotten a bit too enthusiastic with a paintbrush. On the one hand, you've got self-care, the noble zebra of the equation. It's all about maintaining your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. On the other hand, there's self-coddling, our stripe-painted horse, which might feel good in the moment but could potentially lead to avoidance or neglect of life's responsibilities. It's a tricky terrain to navigate, filled with the pitfalls of overindulgence and the steep slopes of neglect. But fear not, because we are here to guide you through this wilderness. So grab your binoculars and put on your safari hats. So let's dive into the jungle of self-care versus self-coddling, shall we? Welcome to the self-care safari, where we will distinguish between the rare, elusive self-care beast and the more common, overfed, self-coddling creature. Now, imagine the self-care beast, if you will. It's a creature of balance and resilience, practicing habits that maintain and improve its health and well-being. This beast doesn't shy away from taking care of itself, both physically and emotionally. It might be seen taking a mindful walk in the forest of life, or perhaps meditating by the river of tranquility. It understands the importance of a balanced diet, regular exercise, and adequate sleep. It also knows the value of saying no when necessary, setting boundaries, and seeking help when things get tough. On the other hand, we have the self-coddling creature. Now, this creature differs significantly. It's often seen lounging in the meadows of comfort, indulging in every desire without a second thought. It's characterized by an excessive indulgence in its desires or fears, often at the cost of personal growth and responsibility. This creature might be seen skipping a day of work because it's just not feeling it, or perhaps binge-watching a TV series while a pile of laundry waits for attention. It often confuses self-love with self-indulgence and self-kindness with avoidance of discomfort. We all have these two creatures within us. Sometimes they might even look the same, but their actions have different outcomes. While the self-care beast leaves us feeling nourished and empowered, the self-coddling creature often leads to stagnation and regret. Take, for instance, the act of skipping a workout. The self-care beast might skip a workout because it recognizes the need for rest after a week of rigorous exercise. The self-coddling creature, however, skips the workout because it's a bit too chilly outside or because it's simply not in the mood. It's important to recognize which creature is driving our actions. Are we taking care of ourselves, or are we avoiding growth and responsibility? Now that we've seen both creatures in their natural habitats, it's time to draw some conclusions. Let's revisit our self-care safari with a pair of humor-tinted binoculars, shall we? Imagine, if you will, a world where self-care and self-coddling are two distinct species of an elusive creature known as personal wellness. One's like a majestic lion, powerful and self-assured, while the other's more of a pampered house cat content to lounge about and be served meals on a silver platter. So let's say you're out in the wild, and you spot a creature on the horizon. Is it the lion of self-care or the house cat of self-coddling? Well, let's look at the telltale signs. First up, self-care. This majestic creature is all about balance. It's like a well-coordinated tightrope walker, balancing on a high wire of life. It's the act of eating a salad because your body needs nutrients, not because you're punishing yourself for that extra slice of pizza you had last night. On the other hand, we have self-coddling. This creature is more like a couch potato, always taking the path of least resistance. It's the act of eating an entire tub of ice cream because you had a rough day, and somehow you've convinced yourself that the frozen dairy product is your only friend in the world. Now, don't get me wrong. We all have our couch potato moments. But the key is not to let those moments turn into a lifestyle, because let's face it, a couch potato lifestyle isn't going to get us anywhere, except maybe on the next episode of My Strange Addiction. So when you're out in the wilds of personal wellness, remember to keep an eye out for these creatures. Be the lion, not the house cat. Be the tightrope walker, not the couch potato. And there you have it, the difference between self-care and self-coddling. Remember, it's like distinguishing between a zebra and a creatively painted horse. Once you know what to look for, it's quite obvious. Here's to hoping your next self-care routine doesn't involve a bucket of paint and a confused equine.